Hey guys, Chris here. Working on my '02 Silverado. I'm about to put an amp wiring kit in, and I wanted to show you guys an easy way to do it. I know some people like to go through the rubber grommet and the firewall, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But there's another way you can do it. Going through the grommets, not a bad way to do it. It's just, you're messing with the bulkiest set of wires that run through the firewall that control basically everything underneath the dash. So, in my opinion, I'd rather go through the firewall and put a grommet in there, and have a nice sealed connection. The other thing I wanted to show you is the differences in power wire that's out there now compared to a long time ago, because copper's a little bit more money and aluminum's cheaper. But here, I'll show you this. I got these two kits on Amazon. One is I believe this is a Stinger, supposed to be 4-gauge. It even says on here, I believe OFC means oxygen-free copper. If you looked at it closely and I stripped a piece off, it looks more like tinned, tinned real fine copper strands. And then this here kit I also got on Amazon. It's a Fosgate kit, and if you look at the end, it's only 8-gauge, but it's actually copper wire. So I'm more inclined to use the copper wire, the solid copper wire. Not that that means that this is bad, but again, in my opinion, I'm thinking that this very fine tinned copper, which looks really like it's aluminum, it's 4-gauge versus 8-gauge in the copper. That's basically about the same amperage if it is aluminum. Aluminum, you need a larger size wire to carry the same amount of amperage. Plus, I'm not putting a big system in this truck. I just want an amp and a little sub. In fact, I got one of these Pioneer. It was like $100 special. I think it has a 10-inch shallow sub in the box for like $100, non-powered. I have an old amp, so that fits behind the seat perfectly. In that little indentation here, and actually, it doesn't really move too much, so it shouldn't bounce around. But let's get back to showing you these underneath this hood. Now I got a flashlight here, but this is the driver's side. This is where the battery's at. That's the brake booster, master cylinder. So there's that main bulk wire I was telling you about. It's real easy to go through that grommet and poke through that. I've read that or heard that there's actually two. Like there's one there and there's one inside. It's like a big plunger type looking thing. But this truck is all original. It still has this like insulation on the firewall, and there was a piece down here too. I removed that, and what I found is down here, it'll be hard to see, but there's two dimples in the firewall. There's one up high and there's one down below. Okay, and those dimples mean it's something in the factory that's used, I guess, as a template for them to be able to drill through there to add something. Maybe a slave cylinder, because if this truck was a stick. But there's a dimple up high and there's a dimple down low. Now, if you look inside the truck, underneath the dash, and again, I got my flashlight here. There are, let me see if I can get the phone up here. See right there where my flashlight is aimed, there's an access, a little circle access, and it's kind of tough to see, but you can go up there, and if you open that with your finger, you can feel that dimple in the firewall. And then the lower one, the lower dimple, there's another access, and it's right behind this box, which has some wires in it and some other things. So I would recommend, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a step bit and I'm going to drill through that upper dimple, which has a clear path. Let me see if I can, there, it's up there. right there. I can move those wires out of the way, and I can get my drill in from the outside and drill that and put, just make it big enough for the wire. And then put a grommet around it, and then I'm going to probably put a little bead of silicone on it before I put the grommet in. So easiest way to do it, and then you can run it down behind the carpet. I'm actually going to be pulling this carpet out and replacing it, and running all the wires basically down the center console, underneath the center console. So a couple sets of RCAs, because I'm going to run an amp on my highs, and I'm going to run an amp, or maybe a 4-channel amp, use half of it for the sub and the other half for the highs. I'm not sure yet. I don't really need a lot in here, just a little bit of sound. Same thing, you should probably find those same dimples on a Tahoe, Yukon, 99 and up. I would imagine they have it. And they might not be available on a stick. I don't know if that's what those dimples were for, but they're usually placed there for the factory to have, I guess, maybe some robot or something can find it and drill through it. But anyway, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them. Thanks, guys.